What is up, y'all? So, it's been a minute. It's definitely been a minute. Even since I picked up this book. I think the last time I picked up this book was the last time I made a real ass video about this book. But man, the story I just read just put me through a whirlwind of emotions. So, yeah. Girl, been sick. I've been sick for like a week, and it's been outrageous because, like, how do you get sick and get your period the same day? Like that. I don't know what God want. I think God just wanted me to rest for a few days. Because when I tell you I enjoyed this week of rest, I mean it. Because look at my energy. I feel amazing. I look amazing. I'm just amazing. Just like this message is finna be. It's finna be amazing. So thank you, God, for everything. For real. Like, and I say that with everything in me right now. Because, like, this past week, I feel like I really needed that rest. In a sense to where I was able to see everything clearly. Like, get out of my own way, get out of my own mind, and just see things for what they are. And just a different perspective to something I already loved. It was cool. It was a great little breakaway from life for a little bit. But look here. So first off, what we gonna start with? I'm gonna start with Monique. I'm gonna start with Mama, Auntie, Neek. Oh, and then I just said Neek because Unique and Monique. Oh my God, man. Okay, because I'm here, but y'all not here, but I am. So let me tell you why my energy is so crazy right now. So last night I watched Monique and Club Shay Shay, and just probably like less than an hour ago, I watched Power Season 3, Episode 10. Yes, it's like that. Season 3, Episode 10. Raising Canaan. Book 3. That's book 3, right? Book 3. Understand. The thing that they call 50 Cent, that man, he did an award. Oh my God. Oh my God. Can you see my tears? They there. They there for real. Bro, like, people don't understand. This the emotion that I be having towards things. Like, when I tell you I'm a very passionate person, I am a very passionate person. Whatever comes through this vessel of mine, I feel passionate about. Because whatever don't go through this vessel of mine, I don't care about. But the things that come through this vessel of mine, I care about. Like, so me watching that episode, me watching this, me being so invested in Power is amazing to me. Like, the creativity of it is just so powerful. I don't know how to explain it. I think I gotta make a whole video on just that alone. But that's not what this video about. We're gonna go back to Monique. Before I get off Power though, my man's ain't dead. He killed the nigga that needed to die. Period. 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 Karma's a bitch. Man. But anyways, Monique. Who? And to think I picked up this book again. It's called Chocolate for the Woman's Spirit. That's what this book is called. And Monique, her words grounded me in a way to where I know I ain't crazy. I know I ain't crazy. Because it's people in the world that think like me that I never met before. and that have been here longer than I've been, and they are at a level of awareness that I have reached, and their words comfort me and resonate with me in a way to where a lot of things cannot. And I kid you not, the way that Monique said what she said about everything, the way that she, like, first off, you can visualize everything that she was saying. 2, she got the receipts for everything. 3, we lived this with her. Like, as far as like the big core toxic part that she was talking about, we quite literally lived that with her. So you can fact check everything that she was saying, and it'll hit you in a way to where it's like, damn. But like, something that really got to me is what she said about how 10 years ago she did that. She had an outcry on social media about how she was being treated. And this last year, end of last year, December, Taraji did that same exact thing, but she did it on public platforms in front of core people. She did the exact same thing. And it's like, damn, she really did that. She really said that. And Monique, and the way Monique broke that down, is like, we truly are at a spiritual war. It's a war of ideas. It's a war of perspectives. And it's like, the world want us to look at things left and right, when everything it just is. It's not about what you feel. It's not about what you think. It's about what you know to be true. And that's all Monique was saying. And it was so profound to the way, like, I felt everything she said, and her conversation, it made me fall back in love with watching interviews and podcasts and stuff. Because the reason why I stopped watching is because the authenticity had left. Like, you can literally see through people's mirages. You can see through the illusion. And it's like, damn. But through what Monique was saying is, we are aware to that. And in part of us being aware to that, we have to hold people accountable for the things for the seeds they plant into the world. Like, the thing that was on my mind earlier, she said, before you tell me something that you did, will it this? Like, is it gonna hurt somebody? Is it about causing somebody harm? Is it about this? Is it about that? Is it about this? Am I gonna question your character after you tell me this? Like, I heard someone say, if you're so upset about what I am saying, then maybe you should have treated me better. Like, and that hit me like a ton of bricks, just like this interview did, because it's like, if people would treat you better, then you wouldn't have to be so sour in your description of them. You wouldn't have to be like, the healing wouldn't be so intense. Like, if people just treated people better. And it's like, the fact of you not treating people better is why they talk so much shit. Because is why they're able to talk so much shit. Like, she said that if you talk about me in private, I'ma talk about you public. Like, damn, like, the way that, like, I can't even dissect everything that she said. I have to rewatch it again in order to do that. But Monique talked her stuff. And she did it so profoundly to where, if you a black woman and you ain't watching that interview, then you's the problem. And I'm here to tell you, as your sister in color, we just all colored, okay? As your sister in color, I'm telling you, you are the fucking problem. Don't stop blaming these men for the things that you do. Because if you cannot resonate with what that woman said, then you are the problem. And black men, I'm speaking to you too. This ain't even about gender at this point. But I'm specifically talking to the people that can relate to me, and that is the black women that look like me. Shout out to you. But anyways, let's talk about this chocolate dose I had today. Because this is another reason why my emotions is as high as it is, and it took me 10 minutes to get to this point where I want to talk about this book. Because I had to get all of that off my chest. Because this story just made me hella emotional. So it's a trigger warning in this. It's about domestic violence, right? So as I'm reading this, I'm glad I watched the interview before I read this chapter, because if I didn't watch that, I probably wouldn't have finished this story. I ain't gonna lie, because this shit made me mad. It made me very mad. So first off, the name of the story is School of Hard Knocks. The quote that it opened with is called it says, "Where there is great love, there are always miracles. Where there is great love, there are always miracles. Where there is great love, there are always miracles. Where there is great love, there are always miracles." That's the one. That's the message in the whole story too. I needed that. That just grounded me in a way to where y'all just don't understand right now. Okay, so in the story, it opened up with so they brought you into the story of the moment, right? Basically, it's two sisters, Penny and Courtney, right? Penny is the sister, Courtney is the victim. Courtney is Courtney is the narrator. She's the narrator of the story. Penny is the sister in the story, and Greg is the boyfriend. So Greg was beating on Courtney. Penny came over and packed up her sister's stuff. Packed up Courtney's stuff. Courtney was like, "Oh, no, you're wrong. You're not supposed to." Like Courtney was basically upset with her sister because her sister cared enough to make sure she leave up out of that house, because she was getting beat on by Greg. But it was in a way to where Courtney was like quite literally delusional to the point where she's fighting her family. She's fighting her family for a man that's beating on her, that's fighting her. She's fighting her family who's defending her when a man is offending her. That's something I'm working on. I had to go through that thought. But basically in the story, Courtney was upset because she said she keep telling her family all of these things that he doing to her, and they're telling her to leave him. Like, you need to go. And that's what Penny was doing. She was packing her stuff. But this particular day when Penny was packing her stuff, she was finna leave out. She didn't see what Greg had in his hand. And when she was leaving out the house, with her sister's stuff, he stabbed her right between the ribs, and she had to go to the hospital. And mind you, on the way to the hospital, Courtney is telling her, like, he didn't mean to do it. It was an accident. He didn't do this. Like, that's what? What you mean? He just quite literally stabbed your sister your sister is taking your stuff out. He just stabbed your sister while she was leaving out of the apartment, and he just beat your ass in. After you see your face. After she made you see your face. He just stabbed your sister. And you got the nerve to say it was an accident and he didn't mean to do that? And mind you, not to mention, the whole neighborhood watched this man stab her. And they called the police and the ambulance. She didn't even call them. The people, the neighborhood called. And And then she got mad when her sister testified and pressed charges against the man, right? Then her whole family, the whole family that she was telling her stories to, her whole family testified to make sure that this man get locked up in jail, right? She fell out with her family, right? Did not talk to them for like a year, right? The man only gets sentenced to a year. He get out. She wait for him. He get out, right? The first thing he did was beat her ass. And the first thing she did was leave to go. She left and ran to a payphone to call her mama. She called her mama. She called, and they all said, you made your bed, you gotta lay in it, right? But her mama called her sister. Mind you, she didn't want to call her sister because she knew she was wrong and she knew what her sister was gonna say. But so she didn't even call her sister, right? And she just sat there on the curb and just was crying, just bawling out in tears. And she felt a tap on her shoulder. It was her sister saying like, do you need a doctor or do you need somewhere to stay for tonight? She didn't even do that. I told you so. Cause me, I'm a I told you so motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie to you. I am that motherfucker. And it's like, she didn't even do that. And that's what Courtney was expecting. She was expecting Penny to be like, I told you so. Get your stuff and let's get gone. But she didn't even do that. And like time went past and she wound up getting married to a man and falling in love the right way. Genuinely happy. And she said that her sister is her hero. Even and she didn't even see that. And it was so profound to me because it showed me that what unconditional love looked like in the story. Because like me, I'm the type of person where I love men unconditionally. Women I love with conditions. Maybe that's just me because how I am and I know how women operate. And I know how small black men are looked. So I love them unconditionally because they sometimes them niggas need that little love, okay? It's like they need that little extra love. And then I'm a woman. We supposed to. But it's like, I was actually having this conversation with myself a little minute ago. Like, I truly love men unconditionally because it takes our love in order to make a man what he is. Whether it's a mother's love, a sister's love, a cousin's love, a auntie's love, whatever. Women make men. Men make women. So it's like, so yes, I love men unconditionally because my father loved me unconditionally. Like, shout out to that man, for real. Shout out to you, my guy. But also shout out to my big brothers, for sure, because y'all my dogs, for sure. And we locked in, like tuck socks in. But specifically my dad. Because like, I was... I realized how I made myself a priority in his life as a kid. Like, because we always had this like distant relationship. But like, I had to make myself a priority in his life. Because a lot of people be like, my dad treat me like this. My dad treat me like this. I don't like when he do this. I don't like when he do that. Well, show him how to treat you. Show him that you are a priority and that this is what it is. This is how life is in your life. And this is how it is to be in your life. Like, show that person who he is. Like, a lot of times as women, we expect these things when people are not obligated to be what we expect them to be. And that's what I had to learn with my father. Like, I cannot place my expectations on this man because he's a man. He's a man who's been traumatized. Just like I am a woman that's been traumatized. I cannot live up to a man's expectations, so I cannot expect a man to live up to my expectations. Yes, I wanted this father that every girl should have. but I have the father that I have, and I am forever grateful for that man. Like, truly. So, Pops, if you watching this is for you, my guy. But, like, for real, like, it took me to, like, really learn who I am for me to understand what forgiveness really look like, what love really looks like. And it's like, and it's the same thing Monique was talking about, which is why all of this resonates. Like, we have to unlearn what we've been taught. We have to understand that things are what they are, and we are who we are. We are who we choose to be. So, in a sense to where if you have an absent father and you're expecting him to do all the legwork and you haven't even showed him the path yet, then it's like you're expecting failure. Like, let me go deep into this. So, like, I hear a lot of people talking about, like, their father was a deadbeat, their father was this, their father was that, like, and it's okay to feel like that. Like, you feel how you feel. You are entitled to feel that way, but understand, you have to stop making excuses for that pain. You have to stop suppressing that pain. You have to acknowledge it for what it is and find out how to hold yourself accountable to it. How to make sure that you never ever have to feel like that, because if you feel like that, understand, when you have kids, you're going to choose a man that makes your children feel like that. That's the whole thing that Monique was saying in that interview. The cycles repeat. They continue. And it's like, if I allow the pain that a traumatized man was feeling become my reality on how I view men, then the child that I will have in the future would have a similar story than I have. And I can't do that to my unborn. And I didn't even want to hold on to that pain, because as a kid, I learned to, no matter how angry I felt at my parents for a lot of things, I chose never to use the word hate. I chose never to hate them, to like physically hate them. I don't. No matter what they did, no matter how it felt, I chose not to hate them, because at the end of the day, it takes a child for a parent to be a parent. So if your parent is making you feel less than, then show them how to become a better parent. You have to walk that road with them. They brought you into this world, so show them what it's like living in your world, in the world that they brought you into. There ain't nothing wrong with that. That's a part of honoring your parents. It's showing them the hell that they caused you. They have to know that. Because who else? Because if they leave this earth, who you gonna tell it to? You gonna tell it to their grave? You gonna heal from them their death? No. Heal from their life. Hear their story. Let them tell you everything that's on their heart, so that you can learn everything that's on theirs. Like, it's a process to life. It's a level of understanding. And like the way that Penny forgave Courtney and still show her unconditional love made me rethink my mother wounds. Because like I said, I love men unconditionally, but I love women with conditions, because that's how I've been loved. And it's like, I say I love women with conditions because we birth the seeds that come into this world. The seeds that are planted in this world start off as a woman. So it's like, if you are a poisonous fruit, if you are a strange fruit, then you will only bore poisonous seeds. But if you are healing, if you are actively healing, then you got time. You got time to grow, and those type of people I love with conditions. The people that's actively growing. I mean, people that's actively growing, I love them unconditionally. But I specifically said I love women with conditions because of this saying where they said that if you teach a man, you teach an individual. If you teach a woman, you teach a family. Women know what they be doing. Oh, and that's a secret to women. So if you 25 and a half minutes into this, watching this, understand, women know what they be doing. They know exactly what they be doing. From the rooter to the tutor. Know exactly what they be doing. From the start of the intention to the end of it. From the beginning of the story to the end of it. They may not understand everything that they be doing, but they be knowing exactly how things gonna play out and the reason why they do the things that they do. And you cannot tell me anything different because I am a woman and I understand it. Men be knowing too, so I ain't finna play the gender role here. But I'm speaking specifically for women. Women be knowing. It's this thing called intuition that we are born, like, we all are born with intuition, no matter the gender, right? Men, it comes in instincts. Women, it comes in intuition to the point where you just know stuff. You just know it because that's the connection to our womb. Just like how women be knowing that they be pregnant. They may not want to admit it to themselves, but they be knowing. They knew. They know. They may act like they don't know, but they know. It's the same thing when your period comes. You just know. You just know it. Know when it's coming. Because you start acting different. You start doing things different. You start moving different. You start operating different. That's why I said women be knowing. We may act like we don't. We may even fool ourselves enough to know that we don't. But fool ourselves enough to think that we don't. But what we feel and what we know comes into play when it comes to that. That's why I said we have to get out of what we feel and what we think and trust in what we know. We know these things. That knowing. That knowing. Man. I feel like I've been rambling throughout this whole video. But I needed this. I needed this release so much. Like, bro. Man. So when I finished the story, I read this quote. It says, I shall die very young, maybe 70, maybe 80, maybe 90, but I shall be very young. Thinking young again. We got to get back into that accountability that adults try to teach kids by saying that they're an adult. No, we are all kids. We are all immature. We are all maturing. We are all growing. Like I just texted this. Oh, it's just so crazy. I think that was last night. I text my little cousin like, I want you to remember that you are a growing woman despite having grown woman responsibilities. Like, yes, you have grown woman responsibilities, and that is okay. But understand, you are a growing woman. You have time. You don't have all the time in the world, but you have time. That's the only thing you have in this world. And guard that with your heart. Because how you use your time is how well God can use you. Like, and this is something that I'm learning right now. You have to discipline yourself. You have to control yourself. You have to be that for yourself. Like, that's the same thing Penny had to learn in the story. Like, she had to learn how to advocate for herself. because she was so distraught when the people around her was advocating for her that she didn't realize she was at war with herself. She distanced herself from herself for so long that she didn't know that her family was bringing her back. And she didn't even accept it. It literally took her years for her to understand that she had lost herself a long time ago, and it took all of this for her to come back to herself. And it's so wild how you can just quite literally lose yourself. And it's weird. That's ooh. I've been okay. Oh my goodness, there's so much going on right now. It's so much. Okay, so I'm finna get up off this video because it's been 32 minutes and your girl gotta get up out of here. But the thing I just wrote is, it was last night I was just I've been in this space of solitude, right? And the thing that's been on my mind is, why do you got the tattoos you got? And specifically this tattoo, it was puzzling my mind. Because the wording right here, it says, look beyond your obvious impulses. And a lot of people ask me, like, why you get that tattoo? Why you got that tattoo? It say, look beyond your obvious impulses. Choose the good. Choose to spiral up. Because it's so easy being negative. It's so easy to be negative. It's for one positive word, you can think of 10 negative words to counter that positive word. That's how easy it is to be negative. That's how simple negative thoughts come to us. But like, to think of positive things to say about something, it requires more. For some people it's easier than others. And I say this because I'm from Chicago, specifically the West Side. And it's so easy to be negative here. It's so easy to want to start some stuff. It's so easy to roll your eyes. It's so easy to be mean. It's so easy to be negative. It's so easy to want to wake up and want to choose violence. Not saying in the sense to where I'm finna go shoot somebody. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about gossiping. I'm talking about shade. Just negative talk. Like, y'all know what negative talk is. Like, we from the city. Like, we know what negativity is. It's deeper than just guns and violence and stuff like that. But it's like, rethinking of what Monique said, like, we have to do better. We have to hold ourselves accountable to the seeds that we plant into the world and the seeds that we are allowing to be planted in the world. So it's like, if you see something, say something. That phrase is so simple, but it's often overlooked. If you see something, say something. Ain't nobody telling you to jump in front of a bullet. But if you see that something is happening that you can prevent, then try. God got you. God gonna make sure you straight. And if not, then it's your time. Like, and it's just that simple. Like, this is actually something this is a conversation I had with my grandma. Her biggest excuse is she loved talking about the pandemic. Well, the pandemic, people was dying during the pandemic. If people died, it was their time to die. COVID had nothing to do with that. COVID-19, that was the biggest illusion of the 21st century was COVID-19. I ain't even gonna speak on social media, but the biggest illusion of the 21st century is COVID-19. It made us think that the world is one way when it is what it is. It literally sucked us into the illusion of social media been trying to do for the longest. It made everything go to the internet. It made life harder than what it needs to be. From the perspectives that people digested to the information that they regurgitated. Like, people just became victims of their own mindset. And it's like, people had already been doing that, but COVID, that quarantine, that 2020, the beginning of 2020, it made it so hella present. I was going to say hella bent, but I don't know what that word means, or someone told me don't use it. But it made it hella present. And it's weird to me because it's like, if you can give so much power to that negativity, then imagine what you can do. If you can give that much attention to fear, imagine if you gave that much attention to love. Imagine if you took the limits off what your mind think is possible. Imagine if you just allowed your mind to imagine. Imagine that. Like Kurt Franklin said it. Imagine me being free, trusting you totally. Finally, I can. Can you imagine me? I used to be the choir girl. I could sing if I wanted to. I ain't even try to sing right there. But nah, like, for real, like, understand that life is what you make it. After this, I'm done because I am not making it to 40 minutes. Bro. But nah, like, life is what you make it, for real. Like, get out of your own way. Get out of your own head. Live life for what it is. Trust in your knowing. Understand that you are exactly where you are supposed to be, my baby. That's it. See it through. You got this. I'm here with you. We here. Long as you keep checking in, we here. Okay? So with that being said, peace and love, my baby. Enjoy your day. And don't let no player get in your way.